Your mom almost buried you alive as she laid you 2 feet underground in Australian sand. As she did this, she also ghosted you forever. The only thing you have of her is this. Your only tool, a tiny egg tooth. It's like a built-in baby claw some animals are born with, just to break out of their eggs. It falls off later, but right now it's your only hope. Your coin-sized flippers work frantically, pushing sand grain by grain. Hours pass. Your lungs burn for air you don't have. Just when you think you can't dig another inch, you look back and see 3 of your siblings have lost hope and seem almost dead. You think this is your fate too and quit from exhaustion. Then suddenly, one of your siblings comes racing fast from below, passing all of you, walking over your exhausted bodies and starts digging frantically. In just a few seconds, he breaks through to the surface. You're shocked and happy at the same time. Most of your siblings who look dead suddenly start dancing with excitement. You all begin climbing up to the surface. Gasp, your first breath of Australian air as you see the open sky for the first time. But instantly, a kookaburra comes diving fast from above and pierces its beak right into your brave brother who helped you all escape, snatching him away. You're all shocked and stunned. One sibling in the back actually faints seeing this. Without wasting a second, you all decide to run toward the ocean shore. You start running with everything you have. During this terrifying journey, a few more of your siblings get snatched by birds swooping down. Some others, paralyzed by fear, actually turn around and crawl back into the hole you came from. But you and 2 others are the lucky ones who make it to the ocean. You dive under the nearest rock in the water, heart pounding like a tiny drum. You're about the size of a 20-cent coin, which is why humans in the 1960s called you a penny turtle. Right now, you look like a brown, unremarkable river pebble with flippers. You have no idea that you're destined to become the punk rock legend with the most embarrassing breathing system in the animal kingdom. After staying underwater for what feels like forever, you realize something weird. While you should be desperately gasping for air by now, you're fine. Other baby turtles have to surface every few minutes like aquatic yo-yos, but you can hold your breath for hours. That's when you discover your body's most bizarre feature. You're learning to breathe through your cloaca, basically your all-purpose rear opening that handles waste, reproduction, and apparently gas exchange. Yes, you're becoming a professional butt breather. Your body can extract oxygen from water through this opening, making you the only turtle on Earth with this ridiculous but effective breathing system. For the next 10 years, you eat everything you can find. Algae, small insects, tiny fish, aquatic plants. Your body slowly grows from coin size to about the length of a dinner plate. Your punk rock spikes on your head become more prominent, and your butt breathing system becomes so efficient you can stay underwater for up to 3 days without surfacing. You're becoming the Mary River's most unique resident. As time passes, algae starts growing on your shell and head, creating what looks like a bright green mohawk flowing behind you like aquatic dreadlocks. This isn't some fashion statement, it's a brilliant symbiotic relationship. The algae gets a moving platform with excellent water circulation, and you get the most ridiculous camouflage in the animal kingdom. When you're sitting motionless on the river bottom, covered in flowing green hair, you look exactly like a moss-covered rock. Predators swim right past you, and prey animals get close enough for you to surprise them with your lightning-fast neck strike. You've become a living bear trap disguised as river vegetation. Your hunting strategy is wonderfully simple. Look like a rock, wait for something edible to swim by, then snap. Dinner is served. But you're still not sexually mature. While other animals your age are having families, you're basically a teenager with a punk rock haircut and some unusual breathing habits. The Mary River turtle takes 25 years for females and 30 years for males to reach maturity. Evolution apparently believes in really extended adolescence. Finally, after 3 decades of waiting, if you're a male, something extraordinary happens. You develop a tail that defies all biological sense. This isn't just any tail. It can grow up to 70% of your shell length, making you look like you're dragging around a prehistoric extension cord. But here's the kicker. Your tail has hamal arches, a feature that went extinct in every other turtle species millions of years ago. You're basically sporting evolutionary equipment that's rarer than a unicorn. This tail isn't just for show, it's packed with specialized organs that help with your unique breathing system, reproduction, and waste management. You're carrying around a biological Swiss Army knife attached to your rear end. Meanwhile, if you're a female, you've been dealing with the urge to nest. At 25, you've finally reached sexual maturity. Nesting is an exhausting ordeal. You haul your 15-pound armored body out of the water. Imagine a living rock deciding to go for a walk, and dig holes in sandy riverbanks during rainy nights. You lay 10 to 25 eggs, bury them carefully, then abandon them completely. It's not cruelty, it's strategy. Your eggs are better off without you attracting predators by hanging around playing helicopter parent. You've reached full adulthood, nearly 18 inches long, weighing up to 15 pounds, and sporting the most magnificent algae mohawk in the river. Your daily routine is wonderfully simple. Find a good spot on the river bottom, settle in, and wait. Thanks to your cloaca-breathing superpower, you can stay put for days at a time. Fish swim by, and you strike with surprising speed. Algae and plants drift within reach, and you methodically graze. You've become a living ambush predator disguised as a moss-covered rock. Your green algae dreadlocks now flow behind you like you're headbanging at an underwater concert. The neck tubercles that started as tiny bumps are now prominent spikes that complete your punk rock aesthetic. But you're facing a new challenge. The world is changing around you. The Mary River ecosystem is under pressure from human development, water extraction, and pollution. The clear, slow-moving water you prefer is becoming harder to find. Territory disputes with other males involve a lot of staring, some half-hearted jaw-snapping, and generally trying to out-intimidate each other with your respective punk rock hairstyles. It's about as violent as a chess match played underwater by two moss-covered rocks. Here's the mind-blowing part of your story. You spend the first 15 years of your life as an unrecognized marvel of evolution. Scientists didn't even know you were a unique species until 1994. For decades, thousands of your kind were snatched from the Mary River and sold as penny turtles in pet stores across Australia. People bought you thinking you were just another generic turtle, completely unaware they were purchasing one of evolution's most bizarre experiments. Your species is now endangered, partly because of this massive pet trade that happened before scientists realized you were irreplaceable. You survived millions of years of evolution, only to nearly go extinct because humans thought you were ordinary. At 75 years old, you've become the river's ultimate legend. You've outlived everything, survived changes that killed weaker species, and spawned generations of punk rock turtles who all inherited your ridiculous butt-breathing superpowers. You're living proof that evolution got drunk one night and decided to create a creature that breathes through its ass, sports a green mohawk, and takes 3 decades to hit puberty in a world obsessed with speed. You enter life as one of the smallest baby fish in the ocean, literally smaller than a grain of rice. While other fish babies at least look like mini versions of their parents, you're just a weird spiky ball floating around with a tail. And you're not alone. You're born with thousands of siblings, all of you looking like confused tiny puffs drifting wherever the ocean takes you. Welcome to life as a sunfish, where even your birth size is a cosmic joke. You'll need to grow 60 million times bigger, assuming you don't get eaten in the next 5 minutes. Your first day is basically a game of don't get eaten on hard mode. The ocean is full of hungry mouths, and right now you're about as threatening as a floating piece of dust. That fish swimming nearby, it just ate 50 of your siblings without even noticing. The ocean currents aren't helping either. Massive streams of water flowing through the sea like underwater highways, except you can't choose which exit to take. You and your remaining siblings are just getting pushed around like leaves in the wind. Speaking of moving around, whoever designed your fins clearly didn't finish the job. You try to swim, but all you manage is a pathetic wiggle. Not that you have time to feel embarrassed, you're too busy trying to figure out which end is your front. Your siblings aren't doing any better. It's like watching a bunch of dizzy toddlers trying to walk for the first time. Your first attempt at finding food is even worse. Your mouth doesn't even close properly, you're stuck with a permanently surprised face. You spot some tasty-looking plankton floating by, but catching food with an always open mouth is like trying to catch water with a broken net. Most of it just flows right past when you spin around helplessly. Just when you think things can't get any worse, you discover another design flaw. You can't swim backwards. At all. Ever. Got something scary coming at you from the front? Too bad. Your only options are to keep swimming forward and hope for the best, or try to turn around like you're learning a new dance move. Your siblings keep bumping into each other trying to figure this out, creating a beautiful chaos of confused baby sunfish. The hours turn into days, and somehow you're still alive, though you're pretty sure it's more luck than skill. You drift through the ocean like a lost balloon, eating whatever floats into your permanently open mouth. Your siblings? Most of them are already someone's snack. Out of the thousands of baby sunfish born with you, maybe 1 or 2 will make it to adulthood. Right now, your odds aren't looking great, but hey, at least you're not alone in your struggle. Yet. Days turn into weeks, and somehow you've survived your helpless baby phase. You start noticing changes. Your body feels different, rounder. Those useless little fins, they're actually starting to work. You give them an experimental flap and whoa, you actually move forward, intentionally this time. It's not exactly graceful, but hey, at least you're not just drifting aimlessly anymore. But growing bigger comes with its own special set of problems, and trust me, you're about to face the biggest problem that'll haunt you for your entire life. What is it? Oh, you'll find out soon enough, and it's way worse than you're imagining. The other day, you're cruising along when you spot it, the most perfect, juicy jellyfish you've ever seen. Time for lunch. You start swimming toward it, feeling pretty confident about your improved swimming skills. 10 seconds pass, still swimming. 20 seconds. Why isn't it getting any closer? A minute later, you finally reach your target, only to bump your face right into it and discover it's actually a plastic bag floating twice as far away as you thought. Turns out depth perception isn't your strong suit. This happens 3 more times that day alone. At this point, you're starting to think maybe you need glasses. Now you're facing a different problem. You keep floating to the surface like a broken pool toy. Apparently, nobody told your body that fish are supposed to stay underwater. One morning, you find yourself stuck up top, getting roasted by the sun. Ever tried pushing a balloon underwater? Yeah, that's your life now. The other fish below don't even bother hiding their amusement as they watch you bounce around on the surface like a rubber duck in a bathtub. You're drifting near the surface one day, trying to spot some jellyfish for lunch, when you hear a weird rumbling sound. Something massive is moving towards you. Your brain takes way too long to process what it is. Oh wait, that's a boat. And it's not as far away as you thought. Thanks again, terrible depth perception. You try to dive down, but of course your body decides this is the perfect time to float like a cork. At the last second, you manage an awkward panic dive. The boat passes right over where you were floating, leaving you with a racing heart and a new item on your trying not to die checklist. Once your heart stops racing and you finally calm down, your stomach reminds you why you were up there in the first place. Food. You spot what looks like the perfect jellyfish floating nearby. Swimming closer, you open your already open mouth, nod like you have a choice, and chomp down confidently. Nope, plastic bag. Again. You spit it out only to see another jellyfish drifting by. This one has to be real, right? Wrong. Another plastic bag. Having a permanently open mouth isn't helping. You're basically a swimming vacuum cleaner that can't turn off. And then it starts. A tiny itch at first, like a tickle you can't scratch at your back. But this isn't just any itch, and it's about to become the biggest nightmare of your life. Welcome to the worst part of being a sunfish. You're about to become a living hotel for parasites. And not just a few parasites, we're talking hundreds of them inside and outside your body. They start setting up camp everywhere. On your skin, in your gills, even in your organs. Think it can't get worse? These aren't normal-sized parasites. Some of them are longer than your fins. They're burrowing into your flesh, throwing parties in your stomach, and probably charging rent to each other. The worst part? There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. No hands to scratch with, no way to twist your body to rub against rocks, not even a way to swim fast enough to shake them off. You just have to float there, feeling them crawl all over and inside you, like the world's worst full-body massage that never ends. Other fish at least get cleaner fish to help them out, but most of them take one look at you and swim away. You're too big, too weird, and way too infested. So this is your life now, a floating buffet for every parasite in the ocean. And remember, you're still growing. More body just means more real estate for your unwanted tenants. Speaking of growing, over the next few years you balloon to the size of a small car. Welcome to adult life, where you're basically a floating billboard that says "Weird fish here." Tourist boats chase you around, everyone pointing cameras while screaming, "Look at that thing." You'd feel special if you weren't so annoyed. Sometimes boats mistake you for a shark fin and panic. You almost wish you were a shark. At least they can chase things and look cool doing it. Meanwhile, you're out here struggling to swim in a straight line while carrying around 2 tons of body weight and about 1 million parasites having the time of their lives in your flesh. One sunny morning, you're at your usual spot near the surface, trying to warm up your parasite-covered body, when you hear the familiar sound of tourist boats approaching. Another day of being a floating circus act. Cameras flash, people point and laugh at your weird shape. You're used to this by now, but then you hear it. A different engine sound, louder and faster. Before your slow brain can process what's happening, before you can even attempt your clumsy dive, a speedboat crashes into you at full speed. The impact sends shockwaves through your massive body. The ocean around you turns red. Your last thought as you sink into the darkness? Maybe being this big wasn't such a good idea after all. The tourists got their final photos, though, just not the ones they were expecting.